Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Happy Saturday to all of you. I hope that you have a great weekend today. So today I've been thinking about newcomers to the prepping community. We've had a lot of newcomers to the prepping community here in the last couple of years or so, I would say. And I'm thinking about how much stuff there is to think about in preparedness. Right? Because there are different levels of preparedness. There are levels where people just want to be prepared for a couple of weeks, a month or so, and really it is up to you as to how long you want to be prepared for. In my opinion, the more the better, because it just can't hurt. Knowing that there's so many things to consider and think about, I wanted to come up with a very simple quick start guide. You know, like whenever you buy a piece of equipment or something, it has a quick start and then it has an owner's manual. Well, this is not the owner's manual. This is strictly for those that want the quick start guide so that they can get those things that they need in a comprehensive manner, you know, meaning that when they put their dollars to use, they're not just going to be wasting it. They're going to actually get things that they need to be prepared for a certain amount of time. Whatever that time is, it's up to you, ladies and gentlemen. I recommend at least 6 months to a year out of all of the things that you're going to need. But what are those things that I think, and listen, I'm not perfect, so leave down in the comments things that I might have missed. What are those things that I think that you should have right now? If you're just starting to prep and you have a few $100, and this is not an extensive list where you're going to need thousands of dollars, where I'm going to tell you, yes, you need to have freeze-dried foods. I've never said that before. I believe that freeze-dried foods and those more expensive foods play a role in a prepper's pantry and in a preparedness plan. However, what I'm going to share with you today is a quick start guide. So if you haven't started prepping, this is the video for you. I hope you landed on this video if you're considering to start prepping and haven't started, because I think that it will really help you. So I'm going to go through a list of all of the things that I think are the most important things for you to have right now. That if I wasn't prepping and I had a few $100, I can go get these things right now and they should be on the shelf right now. So what I would recommend is, if you're my brother or sister, is that you go get these things now if you're not prepped, because they're only going to serve you in the future, whereas if you need them in the future and you don't have them now, they may not be available. So when I first started prepping, I came up with the 5 B's of prepping. And I think that the 3 B's of prepping, the first 3, is something that every prepper already knows about, right? And it's the acronym BEANS. So the 5 B's: beans, band-aids, bullets, barter, and bullion. And beans is food, band-aids is medical, bullets is self-defense, right? Barter is just any extra stuff that you may be able to get to barter with someone in case you forgot to prep something, whereas someone else may have it. And then bullion is for wealth preservation. But you see, that's not on this list, because you don't need to have bullion. You don't need to have precious metals and such in order to be prepared to get through a crisis. Is it nice to have? Do I advocate for it? Absolutely, but you don't have to have it. And this is just your starter guide. So the first thing that I came up with is biologicals. And by that I mean it's anything that is going to keep your body alive. And what I wrote here is have an extended supply of things that will keep your body alive, such as, number 1, water. And I know that you cannot store all the water you'll ever need, and that eventually your water will run out depending on what the situation is. So one of the things that I put on here is make sure that you have a good water filter, the best one that you can afford. I'm going to go ahead and leave a picture on the upper right hand corner of the water filter that I recommend if you are on a budget. I love the Berkey. I think it's an excellent water filter. However, it is pricey. But if you take a look at this water filter that I reviewed not too long ago, in my opinion, it is a great price for what you are getting, and it does a great job. In addition to that, maybe get a gallon of Clorox or something that is going to purify the water. Because what we run into when we run out of water is that there is still water available. You can still get it, but is it potable and is it safe for you to drink? So having a water filter and a way to purify or clean your water is very important, on top of having water as well. And the next thing, ladies and gentlemen, is food. Extend your pantry out 6 to 12 months of what you already eat and make sure to rotate that stuff. Very simple, very easy. You're already getting the stuff that you eat. If you can, get it in bulk and repackage it so that you can save a little bit of money. But the key thing here is to make sure that you rotate your food. 6 to 12 month supply. If you are not prepping yet, if you're just now starting to prep, if you have just begun, just stick to the basics. Once you have everything on this list and everything else that you think you may need for your own personal situation, then you can get other things that will help you survive and continue to thrive during a long crisis. Shelter, ladies and gentlemen, keeping warm and out of the environment. Think about what you're going to heat or cool your home with here in the next 6 months to a year. Do you live in an area like I do where it gets really cold? How do you heat your home? Do you have enough fuel to heat your home for the next winter or even 2? Also, if you live in an area that's arid or very hot, think about how you're going to keep your home cool. Right? Do you have the energy that it would require for you to be able to run, an air conditioner? Do you have ways of cooling your home that's going to cool it down to a point where you're not going to get heat stroke or something like that? So think of that as well and try to stock up on those fuels that you may need in order to keep your house cool and or warm. Another very important thing in this item here as far as shelter and keeping warm or keeping cool is, do you have a small generator? It doesn't have to be, a 9,000 watt generator. It can be a small generator that's big enough to go ahead and power a small air conditioning unit, or even a small heating unit that can keep one of the rooms in your homes warm during a crisis or an emergency situation. Prescription medications, ladies and gentlemen. If you are on a prescription medication that you are using that keeps you alive, for example, insulin, heart medication, whatever it may be, I don't know them all, but go ahead and try to see if your doctor will give you an extended prescription of 3 months or so that you can have those stocked up, store them in a way that they're going to stay cool. That way they can last as long as you have them and still be effective when you take them. The next thing is going to be over-the-counter medications. This is very important because one of the things that really hurts people during a long crisis, or I'll say an SHTF for lack of better words, is one of the things that kills people the most. Number one is water, right? And we already covered water. Clean water is a must, but also cuts and scrapes that lead to being infected. These are just over-the-counter medications that can assist you with everyday medical issues, such as cuts, scrapes, stomach problems, allergies, headaches, etc. Do you really want to be battling a headache when you have to pull security? Think about that. So for example, Neosporin or alcohol to clean a cut or keep a cut from getting infected. Just basic band-aids, ladies and gentlemen. Gauzes, medical tape, anti-diarrheal medications. A lot of people don't think about that. Maybe have some Gatorade powder or a way that you can make an electrolyte that will allow you to stay hydrated if you get diarrhea or someone that you know gets diarrhea. Think about those things. Allergy medications, very important. Here in Alaska, we have a part of our season here when it turns spring that there are so much pollen in the air that it almost looks like it's raining, and people that have allergies, man, they suffer through that time period. It only lasts about a month or so, but still, if you can get something that will assist you during a time that you would be suffering instead from allergies, then get it and have it stocked up. Ibuprofen, aspirin, Tylenol, Oragel in case you get a toothache. Have you ever had a toothache and it was on a Friday night and you knew that you weren't going to be able to go to the dentist till Monday morning? Get something for toothaches. Now, I'm obviously not covering everything that you can possibly get, but I'm giving you ideas. That way you can go ahead and take it and use this for your own personal life. Thinking of what you can get. Who knows? Maybe you don't have any teeth. Maybe you're watching this right now and you have no teeth at all. You have all false teeth. Do you need Oragel? Maybe not. But someone in your family might, right? All right, that was just an example, ladies and gentlemen. So going on to the next one, fuel for your vehicles. Store enough fuel that you will be able to fill each of your vehicles at least one time, in addition to keeping your vehicles topped off at 3/4 or higher of a tank at all times. So if you're in town and you see that you're getting close to that 3/4 mark, go ahead and pull into a gas station and top it off if you can. And then try to have enough gasoline or whatever fuel you use for your vehicle, be it gasoline or diesel, in your location or somewhere where you can get to it easily, that will at least fill up one full gas tank of your vehicle's tank. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's just a rule of thumbs that I use. It's not something that I read in any literature or anything like that. Learn how to garden, ladies and gentlemen. Make it a hobby. I am no expert gardener by any means whatsoever, but every year for the last 3 years or so, I've been trying, little by little, learning every time that I try. And if you live somewhere where you cannot garden, where you cannot grow food inside or outside for whatever reason, I know there's a lot of limitations out there on HOAs and things like that in apartment buildings, then at least stock up on some seeds, because in the future those seeds may be a very valuable barter item for you, and you may be able to barter for someone that knows how to garden, that can then in exchange give you some of the produce that they make from the seeds that you barter with them. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and finish it off with self-defense, because without self-defense, all you are doing is gathering all of the items that I just talked about up top here for the biggest thug in the block, so that they can just come and take it from you. And when you think about it, if you're gathering these items for your well-being, for your family's well-being, and someone just comes and takes it away from you, what they're doing is they're taking away from your family. They're taking away that opportunity that you gave them to survive a crisis, because you were not able to defend that stuff that you got for your family. So an assault on your preps, in my opinion, is just as big as an assault on your family. Use your God-given right to defend yourself, because without a way to defend everything that you have prepared, you're only preparing for the day that the biggest thug in the neighborhood comes and knocks you over the head for your stuff. That's up to you what you do with self-defense, but I think it's very important. And like I said, it is your God-given right to defend your and your family's well-being. I would encourage you all, especially those of you that maybe have not started preparing, that you just do the basics. And what I listed out here for you is the basics. I try to make a list here that's not going to overwhelm you. Really, you can take a look at this list, make it your own, change it to how you want to change it, that it will suit you and your family the best. But the point is this: you need to get prepared. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you need to get prepared, because in the end, when the worst of the worst times arrive, it is going to be you that your family is going to depend on. But who are you going to depend on to take care of your family? So preserve your own sovereignty. Preserve your own will of doing things how you want to do it, by preserving your future and getting prepared right now, today. Beautiful weekend outside. Take some time today to go out there with your family. Make a list and get prepared. Having said that, I hope you do have a great weekend. I hope that if you do get prepared, that you never need your preps. But I hope that you use your preps, because you rotate through them. It's also a good way to save money, because as you know, inflation is just going to continue to go on and on and on, ladies and gentlemen. It is the song that never ends. Having said that, have a great weekend. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.